The clunk the desk makes as soon as it closes makes me momentarily tense in frustration before I get up to grab a drink from the vending machine on the first floor. I tried, but I couldn't do it. After all this time that passed, I still don't know how to deal with Iwanako. And another passage of time. The library... Bleh, that sounded weird. The library, while not humming with activity, is noticeably more busy than usual. Exams are not far away, and that's reflecting on the number of students burying their noses in textbooks at the tables around us. I've been studying quite a lot in the past few days. Just like them, I hope of doing well in the exams. This also means that Hanako and I have been playing games less, so she's begun studying as well just to fill in the time. Nevertheless, I found myself forsaken her on this particular day. The textbook in front of me has reminded on the same page for some time. After so much reading on subjects I couldn't care less about it. If not for the exams, my mind is beginning to wander. My eyes flicker over to where Hanako would usually be. Just like on the days she wasn't in class, her usual beanbag in the corner of the room is conspicuously unoccupied. It was here that we first really met. I tried to start a conversation with her. She got skittish and eventually bolted from the room altogether. I probably shouldn't smile about it, but it was kind of amusing in hindsight. Nowadays it's more and more difficult to imagine her doing such a thing, even with Lily gone. She's been doing so well that she's come out of her room. Since she came out of her room. I wanted to talk with her, or at least play another game of chess. I'm tired of studying, and it's been a few days since we've really done anything together. The question of where to find Hanako isn't a particularly difficult one. If she's not in the library, chances are she's either in the tea room for some peace and quiet, or in her dormitory. Deciding to check them in that order, I pick up my books and make my way out of the library. I stretched and gave a loud groan as I walked down the hallway. Studying may be frustrating at times, but with the progress I've made, there is some sense of pride in getting it done. It's a good feeling. There isn't a sound to be heard from inside as I stand in front of the door to Hanako's room. I guess that isn't very indecisive of whether she's inside or not, given how quiet she usually is. Still, she wasn't in the tea room. I tried knocking slightly to make my presence known, but I'm surprised when I find the door unlocked and yielding at my touch. With a small creak, the door opens. It looks like my suspicions were correct. Hanako is indeed here. She's sitting on the table with an open book in front of her, but pays it no heed as she keeps looking at the window. She looks utterly oblivious to my presence. With her head thoughtfully resting on her hand, she looks calm and collected. It's a shame she doesn't look like this more often. Smiling a little, I walk up to her on the table and softly speak to her. "Good evening, Hanako." Hanako's head turns a little to see me, but she's still only half there. I put a hand on the table and lower my head to better look at her face, mildly curious about what mood she's in. "What's up?" She gasps a little, finally acknowledging my presence in the room for the first time. Hanako's blushing really heavily. Her mouth is open just a little, as if paused mid-sentence. Most striking, though, is what she's doing. She's looking directly at me, her eyes pinned on my own, for such a close distance that I can almost see my reflection in them. They don't turn away, nor move at all. They're absolutely still, just looking into mine. They're dark and give her an almost analytic air, even when reading on subjects she has no interest in. She would appear to be wrapped in her work. To a casual observer, she absorbs information very well, and even now I can feel that. I feel like I'm seeing something behind her eyes that I've never seen before. I don't know what it is, though. Hanako? Her lips move just a little, silently mouthing something. She looks like she's on the verge of saying something, but I won't say it. That's the way Hanako always is, on the verge of saying something, but never quite doing it. As I look intently into her eyes, I realize something. Everyone has their own thoughts, things they want to say, their own worldview, but I can't work out what Hanako wants to say, and I can't work out what she's thinking. I've never been able to do it. It's frustrating. It feels like I don't know her at all, despite all the time that we've spent together. Hisao. It's only now that I find myself blushing. I've been looking directly into Hanako's eyes for such a short distance, but obviously with absolutely no regard for her, and she's been looking into mine without shrieking or whatever. I quietly look away while covering my face with my hand. Hanako does the same. Another awkward silence reigns. I hate these. At first I accepted them as just being an fact of life around Hanako, but now all they feel like is enough. So I can't be stopped reading that. For more little with able to communicate. Some anger makes its way to the complex mixture of emotions I'm experiencing right now. I want to bridge that gap between us. Friends shouldn't have to tiptoe around each other like this. I speak before I can urge myself out of what I am going to do. My scarring isn't as bad as Hanako's, and I can't possibly compare my life to hers, but I want to show her that she's not alone. Doing this in such a blunt manner might be the only way to get my point across. Hanako, I want to show you something. I take a deep breath to prepare myself. This could backfire badly, but I feel as if we've come close enough for this to be okay. I'm not going to strip naked or anything weird. I'm just going to take my shirt off. Yeah, like that isn't weird. Hanako's eyes grow to the size of saucers. Her face is an amused mixture of curiosity, nervousness. As she stands, it helps take the edge off my own nervousness as doing it in front of another person. Slowly my entire body feels tense. I unknot my tie and begin to loose the first of the buttons. I'm trying to mentally block out Hanako to make this easier, but it's not really working. As I work my way down, I expect to hear some form of protest from her. She remains silent, though, which just makes me feel even stranger. With the last of my shirt unbuttoned, I take a deep breath and look at her. Hanako's gaze is fixed on my scarring as expected, and once I nod to say it's okay, she steps forward and tentatively places her hand on the vertical line running down my chest. The scarring on her hand, a pattern of damaged skin across its surface, contrasts with the single uniform line that makes up mine. Her hand isn't trembling at all, unlike what I predicted. This is the scar from the surgery that followed my heart attack. The surgeons had to cut open my chest to operate on my heart. I never knew. Hanako's words are calm and softer than usual. The soft feeling of her fingers moving across my chest makes me feel hesitant a little before continuing on. You're the first person to see this since I left the hospital. But why are you showing this to me? I wanted to prove to myself that I could do this, that I could accept my past and move on. I want to show that to you as well. She nods. From the reaction, she seemed to know what difficult this is for me. More than anything, the scars represent a familiar reminder of my condition, a reminder that I'm not normal anymore. That's something that until now I tried my hardest to ignore. As the minutes trickle by, Hanako's gaze lingers. My eyes look less fused on my scarring than before. The situation feels a little difficult than it previously did and makes me feel slightly uncomfortable. Her hand retreats and I draw my shirt close and begin to button it up. Her blushing face suddenly returns to its typical sense and timid state as she looks away. The room is completely silent as I fix my shirt and tie, feeling put off after such an unexpected and intimate moment. So I guess you're not the only one that's scarred. Hanako smiles a little at the joke, thankfully lightening the atmosphere a bit. Thank you, Hisao. I think I understand. I give a long sigh of relief. I really don't know how she'd take it, but I'm glad everything seems to have worked out as I hoped. Hanako's smile only proves that further. I'm finding the path I want to follow now, and what Hanako needs to do is find her own. It's something I can't help her with, and it's something that needs to be overcome her past to do so. Hanako checks her watch, and it's getting late by now. Hisao, Yeah, I'd better be going. I'll be thinking. I'll be thankful for some sleep. It's been a long day after all. Good night, Hanako. Good night. I make my way out of her room and into the hallway, remaining silent as I do. I think both of us have gone through a few emotions today. I think I've recorded enough of this today. I want to record longer, but I don't know how much longer I'll be able to keep up. I think... Not too sure what I'll record next, so I will see you guys... next time at some point when I record some more of this. So yeah, see you guys later.